abundance shift code where we are going to change our identity and we're going to see bring the awareness and break all the self-sabotage behaviors and patterns and rewire our subconscious mind and embody our abundance self. Let's get started. I'm Namita Barik and I am an abundance coach and a mindset expert. So let's get started. First thing I want to tell you, if you are not following me, please follow me for more such beautiful videos which can be life changing. And next thing I wanted to tell you that you can change what you cannot see. If we cannot see what is hindering our progress, what kind of patterns we're holding, then we can never change it. There is a version of you in your life which is truly desire. You want more money, more ease, more love, and more confidence. But yet, no matter what you do, every time you set a goal, you promise yourself to change, to start fresh, you will find yourself circling back to same pattern, self sabotage pattern. You don't know what to do and how to change it. Sometimes you overspend, sometimes you undercharge, maybe you meet someone new, but you track with the same emotional pattern dynamics. You build momentum, but suddenly you doubt yourself and you pull yourself back. It's not just frustrating, but it is confusing. You think that you are not enough, but that's not the story. You are totally enough. But the problem is you are running in a subconscious pattern you are not aware of, right? So once we get to know what those patterns are, then we can easily break them, right? Everything looks good. Everything looks perfect. But here is the truth that people avoid is you don't get what you want, but you only get what you are, right? And what you are, your life is not reflection of your desire, but it is reflection of your identity. Your identity is collection of your beliefs, your pattern, your emotional traumas, your subconscious programming, and sometimes it is it is you know uh, from the past relationship or from past karmic, from your generational lineage. Okay, so it might be not your pattern, but you are carrying it. So silently, there's all these things silently drive your behavior and your reaction, and you see yourself and life through that lens. Once you keep going in the same circle, that became your pattern, and your pattern became your identity. So even if you want abundance, if your identity rooted in scarcity, you'll unconsciously make the same kind of choices, will keep you stuck, keep you in the lack, and make you feel that money is not for you. Even if you desire healthy relationship, if your identity is tied to abandonment, unworthiness, and this cycle will keep repeating. Okay, in your relationship, everywhere, in your family, in your romantic relationship, and so on. Even if you are craving confidence and deep down you feel yourself, I'm not enough, you will hesitate, you will shrink, and end of the day, you will just self sabotage yourself. Even if you crave that beautiful, confident person to be, but still it doesn't work. It's not like you are stuck because you are not disciplined, or you are not stuck because you are not capable enough. No, it is because you are stuck because you are trying to change the outcome. Everything you are trying to control from outside. But without changing your identity, without changing it from inside, it is very difficult to change it from outside. So, our identity operates largely on sin. It lives in an automatic thought, automatic emotional reactions. Automatically, you fall into comfort zone, and your everyday choice will be as such. You will fall back into your pattern, your identity. right? Because subconsciously you are running on your pattern. So, first exercise we're going to do is pattern mapping. So, before you can change your life, you need to know what are your patterns clearly. Most people stay stuck because they don't know what pattern they have. Not that they have lack of potential, because patterns running on autopilot, unnoticed, unknowingly, unquestioned all of their life. This is the exercise to bring awareness to all of that cycles that you are, the patterns you are repeating in your money, in your relationship, in your health, in your career, in your self worth. All right. So choose one area that you want to work on with, let's say money or relationship. Okay. So one problem in one area, it just reflect back in another area too. So let's start working on one. Choose one area you want to work with, right? So take your pen and paper and write down that what is that pattern one area that you want to work, money, relationship, health, or your career, anything. Now the pattern goes like this. First something happened and it trigger you, then you get a reaction, you give a reaction, you feel in certain way, and that makes you feel maybe more sad, bad, or making you feel low on self-worth. And then you reinforce that belief that I'm not worthy. See, I'm not worthy. Let's say you have a belief that I'm not worthy of good things. Okay, then you have a promotion coming up. Then your boss said you are not going to get promoted and others get promoted, but they are less eligible than you. So now that trigger you, and your reaction is you will be angry, you will be sad, you will be judging yourself. And the outcome is, what is the outcome is your emotional reaction. And your emotional reaction, what it is lead to, a belief that reinforce, see, things doesn't work for me, I'm not worthy of for good things, everyone is getting promoted but not me. So eventually you are reinforcing that belief. Let's say you are in a relationship, let's say you have an abandoned problem, people abandon you, let's say your parents abandon you when you are very small, you don't know, but they are going somewhere, they cannot take you, and they said you can be at home. But you don't know how to process that. As a child, you felt bad. You felt abandoned. Like, my parents left me. They are not taking me with them. And you feel abandoned suddenly, because you as a small, you don't know how to react. Okay. So your mind make that thought and that belief. Now when you are grown up, you are going to any relationship, they just leave you and go. That relationship doesn't work. And you keep thinking why things are not working, why all of people are going. And that makes you unhappy, sad. And the outcome is you start believing you are not worthy of a good relationship. And but the behind there is the identity that I'm not worthy of good relationship because my parents left me, abandoned me at certain time. Okay. So the story is that, but the belief is leading your life. So take a breath and reflect honestly. That is not about judging ourselves, but that is seeing what is not working for ourselves and write it down, because once we know that, we can change it. All right. So go ahead. So write down one pattern right now, which is running your life. Let's say, think of one situation and which is keep repeating in your life. Let's say your relationship is not working. Maybe money doesn't stay with you. Okay. So write that down. What actually start, and write down the trigger when you really feel that. Like, take a recent situation when you got a lot of money and then you lose it. Maybe you are not able to make a lot of money, or it can be anything. Okay. So it can be with a situation, a person, a kind of emotion that you keep feeling, that maybe you keep feeling lack. In spite of your hard work, you're not able to make such money. Maybe despite of all of the money, you always feel that lack. Okay, so what is your reaction to that? That typically, how do you respond? Let's say you get a lot of money and immediately your bills are piling up. You see that 50% of your money is going to paying off the bills, and the bills are more this time. So what you feel, what is your response now to that? Do you feel good, bad, sad, or money doesn't stay with me? Okay, so write down what is that you know thought, recurring thought that comes to you and how you behave. Maybe you go silent, you think that, oh, money never stay with me, and you feel irritated, you feel frustrated. What it is that? And what is the outcome? What is the result of that reaction, of that thought and that emotion? And what does this reinforce about you? If you keep thinking, keep feeling that man doesn't stay with me, you are reinforcing that belief again and again and again. Now just think how we can change this pattern. Even if in relationship you have abandonment issues, how you can fix it, how you feel when somebody abandon you totally. Okay. So you feel sad, you feel I'm not good for a great relationship doesn't work for me, you may be depressed, you may be frustrated. So what is that bringing out to you? That is making you feel of more of that abandonment issues. That relationship doesn't work for me. Okay, all right. So take out pattern like this, and let's say you identify one of your pattern. Okay, this could be in a different area. Let's say it's on your career. And what activate the cycle? Like how, from how many years the cycle is going on, you are not doing good in your career, or you are doing good in your all, despite of all your work, you are not getting the promotion, or whatever it is, you can write down. And what activates this cycle? When, and how many times it is happening with you? Write it down. And what's your automatic response? Just think of that emotion, that situation, and see what you are getting in automatic response. Maybe you're angry. Maybe you think I'm not worthy of a promotion, whatever. And what results you are experiencing because of that? More of the same. So what is that doing? That is like reinforcing the belief I'm not, nothing, good things never happen to me. I'm not worthy enough to get a lot of good things in life. Promotion, I work a lot, but I don't get paid as much as that. It can be anything. People in my office are not good. They don't see my worth. They don't know how worthy I am, because you are not seeing your worth, right? So write it down and look deeper, and what experiencing, or what kind of do you keep experiencing? Write it down in clear. Once you clearly write it down, you bring so much of awareness to it. You are just going to do it amazingly, clear it easily. So so do the deep reflection. Now sit down with all those answers and see. Now step back and observe what you have written and read it once again. What is the common across all the patterns you have written? Maybe you have written three areas. What are the common? Do you feel lack? Do you feel, the reaction you are giving in each situation, in each area of life, are they driven by lack or fear or need of approval, because you don't want people to abandon you, so you want people's approval? You think money is not staying with you. You're staying in lack, that money will never be enough for me. You are not getting a promotion. You are acting from the fear that, oh my God, I'll be stay stuck in my career. So the reactions that you are giving, that you're automatically getting, are they driven by fear or lack or need of approval? You have to write it down as it is. What belief might be sitting underneath this pattern? Maybe you are not getting a promotion because you feel you're not enough. You're not doing enough. Maybe you have from early childhood days, your parents abandoned you, or your friends abandoned you, somebody said something to you. Now you feel I'm not enough. And that I'm not enough is driving your relationship, your money, your career, your health, everything. I'm not enough. I have to struggle for the money. People always leave, they don't stay with me. Okay. I always give, but they don't stay. What is that? Do the deep reflection because your power stays in this. Every time you act um, without responding well, so you lose your power. When you start knowing and seeing your triggers, your patterns, that's where you claim your power begin from that, because once you see the pattern you cannot stop identifying with them. You will have a distance. I have a pattern, but I'm not that. I'm Namita, but I have a pattern of lack. I have a pattern of not feeling enough. I have a pattern of self abandonment, but I have a pattern of people pleasing, but I am not people pleasing. Now you are totally clearing, you are keeping a distance in between you and how you identify it with yourself. Okay, you are not bad with money, you are not unlucky in love, you are not inconsistent, but you simply have unconscious patterns, and your patterns are learned. There is some situation happened and you make a meaning of that, and now you believe that I'm not enough, I'm not loved, I am not worthy. Now that belief is leading your life without you are knowing that. So it is not, there is no problem with you. There is only problem what you believed and what stories you are telling yourself. Once you know that, you can just keep a distance within yourself. So the next time you same thing happened, you can respond in a different way. And when you respond in a different way, you shift that pattern from unhealthy to healthiest pattern, from a negative to positive pattern, from that old me to new me, from the powerless person to powerful person. You claim your power, and that's where your power, your story begins. All right. And there is a lot more things to do that in much different ways. But for today, it is so important that you have to recognize your pattern, bring that awareness. I know every day doing that alone is difficult. That's why I teach in my program, Shift Code, the Identity Shift Code. I teach that how you can practice that awareness every day, so that immediately when that pattern starts, automatic thought came up, and automatically you start behaving in certain way, you are going to catch yourself and shift that in the same moment where you created different pattern, a successful pattern, a powerful pattern. You claim your power, and how to do that? You cannot do it altogether alone. You will be needing some help. Okay. So I am coming up with my weekend program where I teach all the tools and techniques, how you can handle your patterns, how you can bring more awareness in everyday life. There is very small 2 minutes, 5 minutes practice every day, which can bring out so much of presence in your life. You feel more peaceful, more ease, and more abundant in your life. Even if you are in between the chaos, still you can bring that presence, and everything works out for you. So if you want to learn that, you can DM me, and I can send you the details, and we can work together. I also provide my one-to-one coaching, which is amazing, which is, I work with the people who are really want to change their life, shift their life quickly, heal, and manifest what they want. Because once you remove these blocks, these patterns, you heal. And there are so many methods that I just take you through in order to heal. Once you heal, everything comes to you easily. You don't need to manifest, you just have to align yourself. If this makes sense for you and if this is useful, like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Thank you.